Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast.
Where we talk about real-life topics in simple English to help you speak confidently.
I'm Aisha.
And I'm Daniel.
Today's topic is something we all think about at some point in life.
Yes, a very deep and important question. Can money buy happiness?
I feel like this question has no simple answer, but today we'll explore it together with stories, experiences, and honest opinions.
Honestly, I think money can help, but it doesn't guarantee happiness.
That's true, Daniel. For example, money can provide comfort, like a good house, food, and security.
Exactly, and security is very important.
But Daniel, I've also seen rich people who are not happy at all.
Same here, Aisha. That's because happiness is more about emotions and relationships.
So, are you saying money is not important?
No, don't misunderstand me, Aisha. Money is important, but it's not everything.
That makes sense. Without money, life becomes stressful, right?
Absolutely. If you don't have enough money, you might worry about basic needs.
Daniel, let me ask you something personal. When do you feel happiest?
Good question, Aisha. I feel happiest when I spend time with my family and friends.
That's so true. Even simple moments can bring joy.
What about you, Aisha?
I feel happy when I achieve something, like completing a goal.
That's interesting. So your happiness comes from success.
Partly, yes, but also from peace of mind.
Aisha, do you think people chase money too much?
Definitely, Daniel. Many people believe money will solve all their problems.
But does it?
Not always. Sometimes more money brings more problems.
That's ironic, isn't it?
Ironic.
Ironic equals something that is the opposite of what you expect.
Yes, Daniel. For example, people work too much to earn money, but then they don't have time to enjoy life.
That's a powerful point, Aisha.
Daniel, do you think there's a balance?
Yes, I believe in balance. Having the right proportion between things. You need enough money to live comfortably, but also time for yourself and loved ones.
I completely agree, Daniel.
If someone gave you $1 million today, would you be happier?
Honestly, yes, for a while.
Exactly. That happiness might be temporary.
But Daniel, money can create opportunities, right?
Yes, absolutely. With money, you can travel, learn new skills, and explore life.
That sounds exciting.
But remember, Aisha, experiences bring more happiness than material things.
Material things?
Material things like physical objects like cars, clothes, gadgets.
That's a very important lesson, Daniel. Daniel, let's go deeper into this topic. Earlier, we said money cannot create happiness, but what about people living in poverty?
That's an important point, Aisha. For someone struggling to survive, money can definitely improve their happiness.
Exactly, Daniel. If someone doesn't have food or shelter, money is not just helpful, it's essential.
I agree. In that case, money removes suffering rather than create happiness.
That's a powerful distinction, Daniel.
Yes, Aisha, it's like money can solve external problems, but not internal struggles.
But Daniel, don't you think money can also influence our emotions indirectly?
How do you mean, Aisha?
For example, if someone has financial stability, they feel less stress and anxiety.
That's true. So, in a way, money creates conditions for happiness.
Exactly. It doesn't directly give happiness, but it creates a comfortable environment.
But here's the problem, Aisha.
I'm listening, Daniel.
Here, people often confuse comfort with happiness.
That's deep, Daniel. Can you explain more?
Sure, you can be comfortable, have a big house, expensive car, but still feel empty inside.
That reminds me of something, Daniel. Many celebrities have everything, yet they struggle with depression.
Exactly. That shows money cannot protect you from emotional pain.
But Daniel, society constantly tells us that money equals success, and success equals happiness.
That's a dangerous belief, Aisha, because it creates pressure. People feel they must earn more to feel worthy.
Yes, and that leads to burnout.
Burnout?
Burnout equals extreme tiredness due to too much work or stress.
Aisha, have you ever felt that?
Honestly, yes. There were times I worked so hard for money that I forgot to enjoy life.
That's very real, Aisha.
Let me ask you something, Daniel. Do you think happiness has a limit?
What do you mean?
I mean, after a certain point, more money doesn't increase happiness.
Ah, yes. That's called the diminishing effect.
Diminishing effect?
Yeah, diminishing, becoming less over time. For example, the first salary increase makes you very happy, but the 10th one, not so much.
That's so true, Daniel.
So maybe happiness is not about how much money you have, but how you use it.
That's an interesting perspective. For example, spending money on experiences, helping others, or investing in yourself.
Yes, that brings a deeper kind of happiness.
Daniel, do you think generosity plays a role in happiness?
Definitely.
When you help others, you feel fulfilled.
That's beautiful, Daniel. But Aisha, let me challenge you again.
Go ahead.
If money disappeared from the world, would people still be happy?
Hmm, that's difficult. I think people would struggle at first.
Exactly. That shows money still is important.
So maybe the real answer is balance again?
Yes, balance between material life and emotional well-being.
So you're saying money doesn't ensure happiness.
Exactly. But think about it. If you have money, you can live in a comfortable house, travel the world, eat good food.
Yes, those things bring pleasure. Wait, what's the difference between pleasure and happiness?
Good question. Pleasure is short-term joy.
Happiness is long-term contentment.
Contentment. That means feeling satisfied with life, right?
Yes, exactly. Let me tell you a real story I heard from a friend.
I'm listening.
There was a man named Arjun. He came from a very poor background.
That's a powerful motivation.
Yes, he worked day and night, no breaks, no vacations. He sacrificed everything, his time, his health, even relationships.
That sounds intense.
It was. After 15 years, he became extremely wealthy. He owned companies, cars, properties, everything.
So he achieved his dream.
Yes, but here's the twist.
Uh-oh.
He one day sat alone in his huge house. No family around, no close friends. His phone was silent.
That must feel lonely.
Very lonely. He later said, I chased money so hard that I forgot to build a life.
Wow, that line hits hard.
Yes, he had money, but no emotional connection.
So in this case, money didn't bring happiness.
Exactly. It brought success, but not fulfillment.
Fulfillment means a feeling of purpose, right?
Yes, feeling that your life has meaning.
Okay, now let me share a story from me.
Go ahead.
I once visited a small village. There was a family living in a tiny house.
They didn't have much money?
What was their life like? Simple, very simple. They cooked together, ate together, laughed together every evening.
That sounds beautiful.
It was. The father worked hard, but he always made time for his children. The mother would sing while cooking.
Aw,
And you know what surprised me?
what?
They looked genuinely happy. No stress, no comparison, just peace.
That's powerful. So happiness came from relationships, not money.
Exactly.
But Daniel, let's be honest, money is still important.
Of course.
If you don't have enough money, life becomes very difficult.
Yes, basic needs matter.
Let's explain that word, basic needs.
Basic needs are things we must have to survive, like food, shelter, and healthcare.
Right. Without these, happiness becomes very hard. So now I see two sides. Without money, suffering, too much focus on money, emptiness.
Perfectly summarized.
So what's the solution?
Balance.
Balance between material life and emotional well-being?
Yes, and also mental health.
In today's world, people are constantly chasing money.
Yes, due to comparison.
Social media plays a big role.
Exactly. People see luxury lifestyles and feel they are not successful enough.
That creates stress and anxiety. Let's explain the anxiety.
Anxiety is a feeling of worry or fear about the future. So, after all these stories, what's your final answer?
Money can support happiness, but it cannot create it.
I like that.
True happiness comes from love, relationships, purpose, inner peace.
And money,
Money is a tool.
not the destination.
Exactly.
All right, everyone, that's the end of today's discussion.
We hope this conversation helped you improve your English and also reflect on life.